so I started writing it. I didn't have friends that were writers. The internet wasn't really fully functioning in 2001 like it is now, so there was very little information out there. So I was just kind of writing in this bubble, thinking I was the only one that wanted to be a writer. And then when I finished my book, I had no idea what I was doing, and so I just sent it out to all these publishers, thinking, okay, let's see which one I decide I want. Okay, that's not how it works, as we all know. So really, it took me about 2.5 years of learning how to get published and learning how to write a book that could be published, because that first book I sent out was terrible. I just didn't know it was terrible because I had no idea what I was doing. So I got a lot of rejections, which everybody does. J.K. Rowling was rejected. Stephenie Meyer was rejected. It is just part of the business. It's very subjective. It's very difficult. And those rejections hurt really bad. I'm not going to pretend that they don't. But they're also going to prove to you how bad you want it. You're either going to stop at that point, or you're just going to keep going. And for me, it just made me stubborn. I said, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna learn what it's gonna take to get this done. So it just made me more serious about it. So I took all kinds of writing classes. I revised that book so many times, and I finally, through a friend, introduced me to an agent. He read it, and he gave me the best advice of anybody at all during that whole 2.5 years. He told me to read a book called Story by Robert McKee. If anyone in here is a writer and anyone in here has problems with plotting, because that was my problem, I highly recommend that book. And I'm sure it's translated into Portuguese because he's a huge Hollywood screenwriting guru. And by like page 25, I knew what I was doing wrong. And so I took my book and I was ruthless with it. I cut out, you know, you have these little things that you write and you think they're really clever. They're not all necessary though, you know. If it's not moving the plot forward, get rid of it. So I was very ruthless with the manuscript by that point because I was very serious about getting published. I took about 3 weeks and completely revised it and sent it in. And then finally, you know, after 2.5 years, I figured it out. And we sold that first book to St. Martin's Press in America in a 2-book deal. And I've been writing for them ever since. I mean, at this point, I'm in it with them for 23 books, 16 that are actually in stores now, and 3 that are finished and in various stages of production. As for the market differences, I can't say I know the Brazilian market very well. I feel really grateful that The Immortals was embraced immediately and by such a great group of readers. I mean, obviously the American market is a very, very large market, but there's all kinds of books being published in America right now. I think like here, the fantasy books are very popular at the moment, but they're still publishing books that are based on more contemporary themes as well. And what is so great right now is my first book was published in 2005. I've watched this market for teens grow in such a big way. The market was so much smaller back in 2005 when my first book was published. And I think it's great because it just shows how many teens are reading and how many stories that can be told. Because when you go to the bookstore, you know, in America, the teen shelves are overflowing with books, and they're all different. They're all about something different. There's something for everybody in there. So I think it's a very encouraging, optimistic time to be writing for teens. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. I know that was a lot to keep track of, but...
To remember everything. Bom, ela disse que sempre foi difícil, né, para ela começar, ela falando inclusive do mercado, e ela sempre quis escrever, mas ela não tinha noção de como escrever, de como ela poderia fazer um livro rentável, como ela poderia entrar nesse mercado, né? Então ela começou a escrever e mandar tudo que ela escrevia para as editoras para tentar ver se ela conseguia, isso foi a partir de 2001, se ela conseguia alguém para editar os livros dela. Então ela passou mais ou menos 2 anos e meio nessa tentativa e foi rejeitada muitas vezes, né? Então as pessoas não se interessavam pelo livro, então ela diz que todo mundo passa por isso, que é natural, que as pessoas vão tentando e nem sempre tem as portas abertas, né? Então a rejeição é parte aí do processo da parte de escrever mesmo, né? Bom, e aí ela continuou tentando, até que uma amiga conhecida lhe apresentou um agente que indicou que ela lesse alguma coisa sobre Robert McKee, viu? Robert McKee, que ela indica que todos que pretendem escrever leiam alguma coisa sobre ele. Já lá na página 25, ela já viu que ela estava escrevendo tudo errado, que ela estava fazendo uma estrutura totalmente errada, e ela começou a revisar. Ela demorou mais ou menos 3 semanas para revisar tudo que ela havia escrito para mandar para uma próxima publicação. E aí sim, ela começou a desenvolver esse trabalho, se tornar conhecida em tantos países. E ela fala que no Brasil a gente tem uma gama muito grande de material, de livros para adolescentes. E quando o primeiro livro dela, em que realmente ela teve uma projeção em 2005, o número de livros que tinha para adolescentes de lá para cá cresceu intensamente. E isso é uma coisa que a deixa muito satisfeita, que é sinal que o adolescente está lendo, está se interessando, e que tem uma gama de variedade de temas, de autores variados, e que ela fica muito interessada principalmente por essa atenção à leitura, que as pessoas, na época em que ela começou a internet, não tinha nem essa divulgação toda, e esse alcance tão grande, como que isso só fez enriquecer o interesse dos adolescentes para poderem ler cada vez mais.
Meu nome é Alexandre, my name is Alexandre, e sou do Bookaholic Boy. Eu queria saber se as especulações sobre o filme são verdadeiras e como estão rolando e tudo isso.
Acabou, fala sua pergunta. I hope there will be a movie. The dramatic rights to all the books in the Immortal series and all of the books in the Riley Bloom series were optioned by Summit Entertainment, which I think everyone knows that they did the Twilight films. And we went to this. I was very excited about that because I think that they're a great studio. I think they do really good job, and they have a really good idea of the teenage market, and how to do that sort of thing. And we went to the Summit offices in Los Angeles back in April, and they're very excited. I mean, I don't know if anyone's more excited than me, but they're very, very excited. And they have a really good idea of sort of the responsibility that they have to the readers, because I'm sure they got a ton of feedback, when they did the Twilight movies. So they're very aware of their audience. They're very aware of the responsibility that they have to try to portray the story in the best way they can. I don't know if it'll be a TV show or a movie. That I don't know, because it really could go either way. And I'd be happy with either way. I mean, I think it would be great to see it on a big screen, but I also think it'd be fun to see it every week. And I think it would just be really fun to see how they interpret places like Summerland, because to me, I can see it so clearly in my head. It's like a real place. And I'm sure, like, we all might have a little bit different idea of what it looks like, so I think it'd be kind of neat to see what they think it looks like. So I don't have any news on, time or cast or anything like that, but I do know that they are moving forward, and they're looking for a screenwriter right now. That's the last I heard. They were looking for someone to write a screenplay. So it's moving forward, and believe me, anytime I have any news that I can share, it will be on Twitter. Yeah.
Ela ficou assim, vocês já estão sabendo sobre isso, já ouviram falar? Bom, ela fala sobre a série, dos Immortals, que realmente todos estão muito excitados. Ela fez uma reunião em abril nos estúdios em Los Angeles, onde falaram sobre essa possibilidade, todos muito excitados. Claro que ninguém tão excitado quanto ela com essa possibilidade, E ao mesmo tempo eles estão muito preocupados com a responsabilidade em produzir um filme para a faixa etária que se propõe às obras que ela tem. Então estão tentando fazer o melhor que pode, baseados em todo o sucesso que teve através do Crepúsculo, Então ela não sabe ainda se vai ser um filme para TV ou para cinema. Ela adoraria ver na telona. E ela adoraria também ver como é que eles iriam reproduzir o Summerland, que ela tem lá na imagem dela, na cabeça dela, como é que eles iriam colocar isso na tela. Como é que eles iriam reproduzir toda essa imaginação que ela teve para construir toda a estrutura de Summerland, né? Então, assim que ela souber alguma coisa, eles